Lesson 8 for August 17 through to 23, The Least of These, read by Dr. Percy Harold. Thursday, August 22, The Least of These. Another occasion when Jesus was asked a question and gave an answer quite different from what might have been anticipated is found in the sermon recorded in Matthew chapter 24 and 25. The disciples came to Jesus and asked about the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem and the time of Jesus' return, as we read in Matthew 24, verses 1 through 3. Then Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came up to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said to them, "Do you not see all these things? Assuredly I say to you, not one stone shall be left here upon another, that shall not be thrown down." Now, as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, "Tell us, when will these things be? And what will be the sign of your coming, and of the end of the age?" The conclusion of Jesus' extended answer to this question referred to feeding the hungry, giving a drink to the thirsty, welcoming strangers, clothing the naked, caring for the sick, and visiting those in prison. He assured them in Matthew 24, 44 and 45, "When you did it to or refused to help one of the least of these my brothers and sisters, you were doing it to me." This is connected with the questions that began this teaching as a picture of the final judgment. Throughout Matthew 24, Jesus presented more direct answers to the disciples' questions, giving signs and warnings about the destruction of Jerusalem and the end of the age. But he emphasized the need to keep watch and live well in light of the promise of his second coming. In the first part of Matthew 25, the story of the wise and foolish virgins urged the need for preparation for an unexpected or delayed return. The story of the three servants introduces the need to live well and productively while waiting. Then the parable of sheep and goats is much more specific about the tasks God's people should be busy with. Question. Read Matthew chapter 25, verses 31 through 46. What is Jesus telling us here? Why is this not salvation by works? But what do his words here teach us about what it truly means to have a saving faith? Matthew 25, beginning at verse 31. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then he will sit on the throne of his glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate them one from another, as a shepherd divides his sheep from his goats. And he will set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then the Father will say to those on his right hand, "Come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me." Then the righteous will answer him, saying, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in, or naked and clothe you? Or when did we see you sick or in prison and come to you?" And the king will answer and say to them, "Assuredly I say to you, inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these my brethren, you did it to me." Then he will also say to those on the left hand, "Depart from me, you cursed, into the everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you did not take me in, naked, and you did not clothe me, sick and in prison, and you did not visit me." Then they also will answer him, saying, "Lord, when did we see you hungry, or thirsty, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister to you?" Then he will answer them, saying, "Assuredly I say to you, Inasmuch as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me. And these will go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. Jesus' statement that when we serve others, we are doing it to him, should transform all our relationships and attitudes. Imagine being able to invite Jesus for a meal or visit him in the hospital or prison. Jesus said that we do this when we offer that service to people in our community. What an incredible opportunity he offers to us in this way. And so to finish the day, read prayerfully what Jesus said in these verses. How do we understand the idea that he all but equated himself with the hungry, the naked, the imprisoned? What powerful obligation does this put on us and how we live? You have been listening to a reading of the Adult Sabbath School Bible Study Guide by Dr. Percy Harold from Queensland, Australia. This service is brought to you by Hope Channel, the Sabbath School Department, and Christian Services for the Blind. Remember, God is always faithful.